Okay.
No. You got Blue. Your actual ear is.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Bam.
Oh my God, I can hear myself now. Okay, we're recording. This
so
is the
it
show.
wasn't bad quality. It was just you had your phone.
You just called me simple to my face. Can you pour us some alcohol?
All right.
The drink that we're drinking, we're not going to name them because they're not an official sponsor.
But they brown.
It's a brown liquor. And the cameras that I'm looking at, guys, I'm looking straight ahead. Usually they tell me which camera to look at. Is my camera the one straight ahead, guys? Perfect. Okay. And Jeff, you're the one right here. You guys, you might recognize this voice.
Uh-oh.
This is Jeffrey, who was in our first episode. Woo-hoo! And Jeffrey, you were in that.
She allowed me back.
Yeah, you were in that grainy Zoom. And we were, it was a little engine that could. And I love you for showing up for the first show.
But the conversation was good, though.
Oh, the conversation was amazing.
That's what,
No shade, no tea. I think that was the best episode so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo. See, I got an invite after the first 45 days.
Yeah. No, you poured me some? Okay.
I got both of us.
You guys, actually, before we have this drink, we should probably play the intro music. Welcome to Humanize. I'm your host, Blue to Be Smart. I'm already slurring my words, but I haven't drunk yet. Thank you for coming back, guys.
Cheers. Wait. You gotta look in the eye when you cheers, otherwise that means bad sex.
Right.
Cheers.
I cannot afford bad sex. Jeffrey, I said a shot.
Oh.
This is a double shot.
Yeah, I couldn't see really the angle that I was pouring at.
Really? But you saw enough to pour about 8 ounces of brown.
Oh my God, I don't even drink brown liquor.
Oh, Jeffrey's trying to kill us. Okay, so you guys, you're gonna have to give us a second because you know when the liquor hits the system.
All my nerves just went shot.
Well, is there a rapper that goes like that when the liquor hits? Let me not get copyright stricken.
Oh yeah, because I was going to start singing Chris Brown.
Is it?
There's something. Okay, that's
we can't sing that.
That's all I'm gonna give y'all.
I will say Chris Brown. Oh, Jeffrey and I are both Tauruses.
Whoop, whoop.
Chris Brown is also a Taurus.
We have the exact same birthday.
Oh, that's
we are
awkward.
both Cinco de Mayo babies.
So yes, and the thing is, I'm in this love-hate thing where I think Chris Brown is incredibly, incredibly talented. I did step away from him in protest for several years because Rihanna is my Lord and Savior. But now that everybody's moved past it and has lives and kids,
it's such a hard thing because that's the one fault. Two things I find wrong with Chris Brown. The Rihanna situation.
Only two.
And when he threw the chair at Robin Roberts.
Yeah, there's several things.
Those are the two things. I'm just like, oh my God.
Those are two major things.
But I root for him. And I'm just like, is it that Taurus connection? Because I've never met this man a day in my life. He's several years younger than me. But I really, really root for him really hard.
Tauruses love hard. And I feel like there before God go we. Like without therapy, I will say this. I am not an abuser apologist. So I do think
Absolutely
that the accountability that he was held to, he earned that, right?
Yes.
But at some point, you have to let people rehabilitate themselves. And to put it in perspective, at least he's not R. Kelly.
I was going to say.
Like R. Kelly, there's no bounce back for me.
But are we doing it depends on the crime type thing? Because is abuse necessarily forgivable?
The law,
does it have a statute of limitation?
The law does that. Like, that's literally legally sound. Like, a traffic ticket and murder are not the same. So you're supposed to do it based on the crime.
Okay.
Like if someone said, R. Kelly's nowhere near wanting to reform. He's still saying we're lying. He's not even admitting it happened. At least Chris Brown got caught, was dragged by the public, did a mea culpa. Rihanna took him back. He took his lashings. You know what I mean? And I'm not apologizing for Chris Brown, so I don't want anybody who's a domestic violence advocate to think I'm apologizing for him. But I'm someone who believes in we can leave room for evolution.
Yes.
But willful ignorance is a different thing. And
but my boy Chris, his evolution, it's had some stumbles ever since. He just got in trouble for throwing a party or something. It's still a pandemic.
That's why I'm torn about listening to his music. And speaking of people who we think are deeply talented, and yet there's an asterisk next to their name when it comes to being the right side of history.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj is trending right now. The date that we're doing this.
You don't say deeply talented?
Nicki Minaj is an amazing lyricist.
I like Nicki.
So I feel like I can say as far as rap and bars, Itty Bitty Piggy and all that stuff.
Itty Bitty Piggy still bop.
She was deeply talented and then she went commercial.
I don't even mind some commercial Nicki.
Yeah, trying to get a check is very different than not having any talent. There's some folks that I don't know how
trying to get a check is different from trying to eat.
Exactly.
Back then, she needed to eat.
If you can eat and get a check, that's great. But if you sometimes pivot, I'm never gonna like begrudge somebody's bag unless you're hurting someone. The thing about Nicki that really hurts my heart is I wrote several op-eds for The Griot about Nicki.
Okay.
Calling her to task for her actions, right? However, when she became a mother, a part of me hoped that there was a softening.
Like the softer side of Nicki?
Right. Because I know that if I pull out a 10-pound beautiful baby with my face, y'all gonna get a softer side of me. I was
10 pounds when I came out.
I was too. Turses are big ass babies.
I was my mama's biggest baby.
I still got a big ass head, to be honest.
Me same here.
Jeffrey, you do not have a big head.
My head is big. I don't wear baseball caps because my head's too big.
I can't wear baseball caps either. Oh my God, we kindred, big head gang. So no, I have to buy men's hats, guys, really, seriously. And I look great in hats, but they don't love me. So because Nicki is so talented, but has, had some questionable things about the way that she treats women, there've been allegations. People, true. But she did try to do the women's empowerment thing when she first came on, where she was supposed to be the people's champ for women engaged. You know how rappers love to do that to us because we're like the key demographic. Yeah. And then when we found out that she was allegedly a mean girl.
I honestly do, I hate that stereotype on women. They're mean, they're aggressive, they're, all these labels.
No, she literally would say, though, if she's on stage, I'm not going to go on stage to stop people from eating. Remy Ma alleged that Nicki would say, if you have Remy, I'm not going to show up.
Oh, that.
So that to me is problematic when you're literally stopping someone from feeding their child.
That's what they said was happening at the VMAs with, I want to say, Normani, that Nicki was, it's alleged, I don't know, but that Nicki was blocking the performance because Cardi's on the song and Nicki really wanted to be on that because, everybody is Normani.
And Nicki shouted out Normani a couple years ago.
So that was why they said it took so long for VMAs to actually book, because it was a whole thing like, why is Normani not performing?
I love Normani, but she did end up performing.
I loved it. I think that, because the big thing of the night was Chloe versus Normani, which I hate pitting these folks together.
Who was doing that?
Oh, everybody was.
Okay, so anybody who was trying to put Normani versus Chloe, I rebuke you in the name of all that is black and good, because there's room for both of them.
There's room for both of them, but there's always, these comparisons. However, I will say I do like Chloe's song better, but I enjoyed Normani's VMA performance better.
Oh, that performance when she crawled on all fours and like a spider monkey on Tiana Taylor and then spin backwards on the reverse cowgirl.
Yes, and I got
to shout out. If you haven't seen it, please watch it, guys.
Normani's performance, it was produced by my boy Tay Hawes.
Oh,
he's out here doing his thing. So shout out to Tay, congratulations. The performance was everything.
Well, here's the thing. We're talking about, have to say sorry every time you hit me, love, it's fine. But we're talking about Nicki and the fact that she's now, and I don't think you've seen this because you've been traveling.
I haven't.
She's now making headlines because she was not at the Met Gala.
Okay.
And she
by choice or not?
No, we're about to get into it. Ooh. She explained why, and I'm going to read the tweets. She said, and I quote, "They want you to get vaccinated for the Met. If I get vaccinated, it won't be for the Met." Okay, guys. It won't be for that. If I get, did you like the voiceover?
I think that's what actually got me.
It'll be once I feel like I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. In the meantime, my loves, be safe. Wear the mask with 2 strings and grips your head and your face, not the loose one. Now, if she had left it at that, all would have been right with the world. But she kept going.
Oh, it's more.
Then she said, "Hey, yo, my cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied."
Okay, so that souned like it started good, but she might have been,
As a proud West Indian woman, we all have those stories as West Indies. Yeah, I know the lady down the street, her foot fell off and then her husband's dick fell. Like, Nicki, that is not something to say to 22 million people.
And I think a lot of times the celebrities try to use, I'm not supposed to, parent your kids, this and that. But you have to understand what your influence is. Not even to kids, to some of these dumbass adults walking around. Like, your words really have power, even when you don't feel like you should.
20 million followers plus the rest of the world. Now, Joy-Ann Reid, you know who Joy Reid is.
I know Joy.
Because she's amazing. Shout out to her. She actually went on air and said, "Nicki, with this huge platform, please don't do this because you're stoking the flames of fear." And then Nicki said, and she lashed at Joy Reid.
God. Did she come for them wigs?
Oh, don't, you know what? Joy, we like you. And I don't know what he's talking about.
I tune into the readout.
What wigs? Like, she looks amazing. Jeffrey, you are messy as hell. I love you. Nicki said to Joy, this is what happens when you so thirsty to down another black woman by the request of a white man that you didn't even bother to read all my tweets. My God, sister, do better. Imagine getting your dumb ass on the TV after a tweet and spreading false narrative about another black woman. Then she was like, those two white men sitting there nodding their heads because Uncle Tamiana, which is what she's now calling Joy, is doing the work. Child, how sad.
Not Joy and Nicki beefing.
The Barbs.
I'd have rather seen Nicki and Candace from Potomac beefing. That's more interesting to me.
You know what? You're messy.
You're
absolutely messy.
Dang.
So now Nicki is all over the internet because everybody's like, why would you? First of all, Joy Reid is an amazing person. She called her a homophobe. She went out.
Nicki called Joy
Uncle Tom homophobe.
I missed all of that. A lot happens in a day. So if you travel, make sure you catch up because I missed all of this.
So how do we feel about? Here's the thing. You guys know that I have been vaccinated because a friend dragged me to get vaccinated.
I just got my second shot last week.
Oh my God! The last time we did the show, you weren't vaccinated at all.
Not, yes.
High five!
High five! Got my second shot last Tuesday.
If that's your choice, I'm proud of you. Here's the thing: on a lot of podcasts I've been listening to, because I try to support all the Black podcasts in particular. Mm-hmm. You can tell who's pro-vax and who's anti-vax, mm-hmm. and they're very segregated.
Yeah,
pro-vaxxers are like, you're all idiots. If you're not going to get vaxxed, stay home. Anti-vaxxers are, you all idiot. If you're vaxxers, don't touch me. I'm vaccinated and I'm neither. I'm just do what makes sense for you.
I'm very pro-choice. I'm not anti-vax. I would never tell somebody, do not get vaccinated. Don't. Do what you feel. Do what you like. Do what you think is best for you.
Right.
That's how I am on the subject.
Anti-vaxxers, though, make me nervous because it's one thing to say you don't want the vaccine for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's another thing to tell other people not to do that.
That's exactly.
And that's what makes me nervous.
That is it.
Do we think Nicki is irresponsible for doing that tweet?
I get it's on one hand, Nicki, just like you, just like she has the right.
But she's talking about her cousin and them in Trinidad and big old testicles and dicks falling off and weddings being called off.
She has the right to go on Twitter and say whatever she wants, like we do as everyday people. However, she does have to understand the platform she has. Mm-hmm. That's why they call those stands, the bar, they just have names because those are people that really believe everything you say, follow everything you say, and will do anything you say.
And now they're attacking Joy Ann Reid. They're attacking Yvette Nicole Brown, who stood up to
Yvette Nicole Brown?
Yvette Nicole Brown wrote
Sherry Shepherd #2?
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what she is.
Oh my God.
And Yvette, you are a beautiful woman, but you and Sherry Shepherd
I love Yvette. Yvette Nicole and Sherry Shepherd are Jack Kay and Kim Whitley.
Yes.
That's what that is.
You look at the picture and then the filter falls off and you see another face and the filter comes back on. Yes. Like they look exactly the same.
But both great, both funny.
They're amazing. Well, Yvette Nicole Brown, I guess, had Joy's back and she's getting attacked by the Barbs. And she said with her chest, because she is not a punk, she said, let me help you, Barbs. And she hashtagged them so they could find her. She said, come find me.
See, that's...
So she said, I'm a grown-ass woman. An emoji, especially an adorable one of a unicorn, has never and will never hurt my feelings or affect my rise in this world. Fill my page up until your Twitter fingers bleed. I said what I said. I meant every word. And if I was respectful to you and your queen, let the unicorns fly. So
you know what that is? That's a black mama talking.
She said, I don't give a good damn.
She got the belt.
Yeah.
Actually, she told them to go pick out their own switch. That's what happened right there.
Yvette Nicole Brown, you are a G.
But again, it is the fact that these people are attacking her. It's like, Nicki, you have to understand your platform. Because while Yvette's following is not as strong, obviously, as the Barbs, right. Yvette got people that listen to her.
Exactly.
When you are a celebrity, a public figure, a politician, anything in that realm, you have to understand your influence. And there are people out there, look at all the Trump supporters. There are people out there that believe everything you say when you have that kind of platform.
And let's be honest, too. There was a time where a lot of black people only got their news from the Shade Room. And shout out to my friend Angie, the founder of the Shade Room. So, you have to think about...
One of my friends still go to Bossip for his news.
Right. There are people who are going to Media Takeout to find out what's happening in politics.
Who going to Media Takeout in 2021?
You'd be surprised.
But I remember the days of Media Takeout. That's the original Shade Room.
Yeah,
Media Takeout.
I will say, unlike the Shade Room, they didn't fact check.
They didn't fact check.
They'd be like, Janet Jackson is pregnant with triplets. I'm like,
they just post to get it out there immediately.
Yeah, they didn't have even a semblance of journalistic integrity. But no, because we know that when you are lazy or trusting one source, source, it's very easy to have only that source be an aggregate of what you believe in, right?
Yes.
So I just think it scares me, especially considering that the bulk of Nicki's fans are Black women and gay people.
Yes.
And so like that's already a disenfranchised group. And so for you to be spreading what could potentially be misinformation to them makes me sad.
Yeah.
Nicki, if your barbers come after me, in the words of Yvette Nicole Brown, I said what I said.
Yeah.
And
we're not again. We're not even
attacking her.
It's not even an attack on Nicki. I'm a Nicki fan. My issue is just you just got to understand the platform. That's all.
Yeah.
Again, I had no problem with what she said at first about not going to the Met and wear your mask.
But when we talk about balls falling off,
and let's be real,
that's fear mongering.
With her husband, Nicki got other things she got to worry about.
Exactly. That's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Because how are you trying to play the Black woman to Black woman card when you are helping a Black woman not get her day in court because of your husband?
It's her husband and her brother. Like Nicki is just like I don't even want to go into that because I don't need the barbs coming in my DMs.
I think Nicki should be careful about playing the Black woman card because when it's time to choose between Black women who say they're victims and they're abusers, she doesn't choose us. And I hate to say that, but that's just the statistic, right? Like, there's 2 times where somebody has been accused of abusing Black women,
and it's so
where you've paid for the other opposition.
It's so much stuff where they're talking about, there's intimidation because she called the girl. And
oh no, I watched the whole hour-long live of the daughter of the alleged victim. So the daughter of the alleged victim went on Facebook and said, I was at a club.
Wow. And
somebody came up to me and said, aren't you so-and-so? And she was like, yeah, somebody from the block. And then that's when she found out that it was actually somebody working for Nicki who would follow her to the club and was trying to like become friends with her.
The biggest thing for me was that phone call. They said she was actually on the phone with her. Because the other stuff can be like, he say, she say.
No,
who
Jeff,
knows?
if you're at a club and somebody rolls up to you, that's scary.
But
as a young girl.
But I'm saying for Nicki Minaj to actually dial my number, you got my 310 number, and like you have taken time to step into this and step in the mess. And it's like, that's a lot. And
then she like offered to give the girl an autographed picture. Why I want an autographed picture of the woman who's married to the man who raped my mom. That's weird. All right, so Nicki is someone who didn't make it to the VMAs for several reasons.
I just really thought she's just enjoying being a mom.
No, she had COVID.
Oh, really?
Oh, I missed that part.
Damn, I'm away from everything. I missed a lot.
So Nicki had COVID. And she also said, I have COVID and that's why I couldn't go to the Met and they wanted me to get vaccinated. But Drake said he got vaccinated. He still got COVID, so I don't want to get it, child.
Okay, that's a lot.
So,
wait, Drake was at the VMAs?
No, but
the Met. You said the Met. I'm sorry.
No, but she's saying that because Drake got COVID and with the vaccine, so again, be careful spreading that story,
but that's
right?
the thing. It's a lot of people that got the vaccine and may have gotten COVID, but the thing behind the vaccine, it's not a force field that says no COVID ever again. It is just a method of making sure you don't have to end up in ICU and helping to make sure that you're not the one that's dying of it.
I keep saying this, pretend the vaccine is a condom.
I was about to say, it's like a condom.
Just because your homegirl got pregnant wearing a condom does not mean that nobody should ever wear a condom. Exactly. So Nicki didn't make it to the VMAs, but let's talk about the children who actually didn't make it to the VMAs.
All right. Actually, you know what? I actually watched the VMAs on Sunday. Me and some friends, we took it like old school, like this was a back in the day award show. We went, so I had just got in town. We did brunch, and then we went to a friend's house. We went to Ralph's. I wasn't invited to none of this, but go off. It was all last minute. It was it was supposed to be something last minute. We went to Ralph's. We got fried chicken. If y'all ain't never had Ralph's fried chicken, make sure you go, and you're doing yourself a disservice.
Jeff is a foodie, y'all. Don't let his six-pack fool you. He eats more than I do. He just works out 80 times a day.
When you come to LA, get you some Ralph's fried chicken. And we got fish. We had drinks in the whole gambit. Ooh. And we sat and watched the VMAs. Like, it was 1999, and it was actually something to view.
I actually remember the 99 VMAs.
Right.
Because it actually, and don't laugh at me at my age, guys, earlier that night, I learned how to drive.
Oh, really? So
when I think of the 99 VMAs, I think of me driving around the parking lot, learning how to drive, and then rushing home to go see the VMAs.
I missed the opening act. Who opened?
Oh, I didn't watch the VMAs. I was on a flight. Okay. I was sitting in first class reporting the lady next to me for being a Karen. So like, it's a whole other story, rather. Remind me to tell you.
I know. So Doja hosted.
Yes, I heard that.
It didn't feel like much hosting was going on, and also I didn't understand. I like Doja. I think Doja's great, but I didn't understand her hosting it. So that was kind of weird.
She is a very special person, but I want to talk about some controversies that we talked about before the show started. Okay. Chloe Bailey, how did we feel about our blonde Medusa twerking that thing while it was thanging up and down and across that stage?
So this is where I'm going to say, y'all don't talk about me for my age. So do you know for the longest, I have been confusing Chloe and Halle.
The whole world has been doing that.
Okay, it's not just me. No. Because I was like...
Everybody thought they were twins up until 20 minutes ago.
Because, when Have Mercy had just come out over, last week and everything. But in my mind, I was like, I wonder is Disney okay with this? Because she's supposed to be the Little Mermaid.
You thought Little Mermaid was twerking on the stage of VMAs.
I've been confusing them two girls. But it's actually Halle that's going to be the Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, the fun fact is the reason why Chloe had all this time to work on her solo album was because her sister, for the first time, was off doing something else and she had all this free time to do music.
In my mind, yes, that's the one I thought.
You thought Ariel was twerking on the stage?
I thought she was the one that's been popping and going and doing even all the little Instagram videos. I've been thinking that's her because I thought the other one was like the boring sister and she was giving very Kelly to Beyonce. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. I had no idea that Chloe was not Halle. And Halle is completely different.
Can I be honest? And this is something where, how sometimes you judge things in yourself that you judge, in others you judge in yourself?
Yeah.
I always thought Chloe looked a little bitchy. But then I realized, she has resting bitch face, but bitch, I got resting bitch face. So who am I to be assuming someone's bitchy when I constantly walk around with the same mug that she has? And I think I prejudged her as like the bitchy older sister, but I realize now watching her interviews, she's just shy.
I can see that.
Sometimes shy people look aloof and a little stank because they're nervous.
Yeah.
And Chloe, if you ever see this, I have converted. I can do it. I can take an L. We did a whole episode called Take a L, sis. I can say a mea culpa. I improperly judged you when she first came out with her booty popping Instagrams. I thought it was desperate, right? I was part of those people who was like, is this a little desperate? And one of my homeboys was like, yeah, I don't like what she's doing. Like, it seems like she's desperate for attention. But then I saw people dragging her and I saw her crying and I saw her explaining that she was attempting to come into her womanhood. And yes, she was trying to feel secure. And I was like, you know what, sis? Even if I was right, even if it was a moment of desperation where in this industry you feel insecure and you want some validation.
Yeah.
There's something human about that. The show's called Humanized, right? There's something human about that.
The funny thing is, and even like you saying how she was coming out on this whole social media thing,
we all look desperate on social media doing duck lips and shit.
It's like, it's nothing new. It's all, we did the same stuff. We just didn't have phones to record.
Shout out to the 90s and early 2000s.
We were doing it in front of like our bedroom mirrors and, having that type of performance. It wasn't put out there for the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't see it as desperate per se.
There was one video that felt a little bit, but then the rest of them I was like, you know what, girl, let her have her fun.
What? I didn't see it as desperate. What I saw that she was trying to like, show us, I am a woman now. Like, really show us I am a woman now.
But I didn't buy it, though. That's the thing.
Okay.
And I think I mistook execution for desperation.
But
my thing is, even if she was desperate, though, right? This is where grace comes in.
Yeah.
Even if you were like, damn, I feel ugly today. Mm-hmm. I'm going to twerk my booty for 45 seconds so a million strangers can validate me.
I am with it because
we have all been in that space. We are all Chloe Bailey, okay?
So I have my days.
So to the fellow hypocrites like me who judged her at first, we all owe that little girl apology.
I have my
sorry,
days,
she's not a little girl. That was kind of
woman.
You are a grown woman, Chloe, and I finally understand what you were doing, and I apologize for ever judging you.
And Blue, I have my days, and sometimes when I'm in the gym and I walk past the mirror and I see a little something, I'm like, let me post this and get my validation for the moment. Yeah, right. We all have our days.
Yeah, even now, like, this is my first time today was the first time anybody's ever seen that I went blonde, right?
I love it.
And thank you, but like, there was a moment yesterday where I was like, I look crazy. And so because I thought I looked crazy, today, after I got my makeup done to shoot Hollywood Unlocked, I went live real quick to ask people to give suggestions about today's episode. And everybody was like, no, we love it. And I was like, oh, maybe I do look nice.
Yeah.
But like, that was my Chloe Bailey moment. It took people being like, no, you don't look crazy, sis. Like, you were just having an insecure moment. For me to be like, I don't look crazy. It's just me getting used to a new look. So in the same way, I think Chloe Bailey killed it. I like the performance. Did you like it?
I thought it was cool, yeah.
I like the video more because obviously it's a video.
Because I feel like, again, she just put the song out
2 days
over
earlier.
The weekend. Mm-hmm. So it was like, let's get a good performance as to where, and am I doing a comparison thing again? Normani, her song has been out for a while, so she's had time to, but Normani's performance.
No, okay, perfect pivot. So we're going to say, we're going to put a cap in the Chloe thing. Chloe, we think your performance was great.
Chloe, I love the song. That song, listen, I love that
song. And
the
video has Roman in, who I think is fine as hell.
I haven't seen the video yet.
Oh, Roman's
I haven't watched the video.
He's so yummy. I be running into him at parties before COVID hit, so let me not be too.
How to Get Away with Murder, Rome?
Yeah, he's a yummy person. I think a couple of our friends in common, so let me shut up before they start sending this clip to him. But you are yummy and you know it. Come on. Normani.
Yes.
First of all, shout out to another tourist.
Oh, she is?
No, not Normani. Shout out to another tourist who inspired that performance, Janet motherfucking Jackson.
Okay.
She even played a little bit of Janet's music in the background.
So here's, okay, you want to know? So this is what I heard was supposed to happen. Initially strapped to that thing, it was supposed to be Janet. Because you heard it was Would You Mind that started when it came. Originally, it was supposed to be
Who told
Janet.
you that? Somebody in the industry?
I'm not telling who, but yes.
Okay, so somebody in the industry told Jeffrey.
It was originally that. When I tell you,
I would have squealed like a
I don't know
pig.
what it would have cost, but we would have had to figure out how to play the clip here. But it was supposed.
I can't afford that, but yes.
It was supposed to be Janet. I'd have been out on the corner to GoFundMe. I would have helped out. But it was supposed to be Janet. But for I don't know what reasons it was that happened, but Janet was not able to do it.
Oh my God.
And I mean, Tiana Taylor is not a bad substitute.
My neighbor just got hard thinking of Janet Jackson.
Could you imagine if Janet Jackson had
That is
come
orgasmic.
Out? But I guarantee if it was right close to the time, because you know her documentary is coming out top of the year.
It is?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Because she released the trailer for it last week as well.
Okay.
But if that documentary's coming out, I bet Janet would have been there because that would have been great press and a great push.
Oh my God. Okay, so you guys heard it here first. Allegedly speaking from an insider source that we cannot reveal. But you know what? I will say this though. Janet knighted Tiana as her heir apparent.
That's why.
So it feels like if you can't get Janet, getting Tiana,
call up Tiana.
Nobody's mad.
Yeah.
I say this with all respect to Iman. I want to lick Tiana Taylor's stomach just one time before I die.
Listen.
I just want to lick her stomach in a non-sexual way. Is that possible? Can you lick somebody's stomach in a non-sexual way?
You cannot lick nobody's stomach in a non-sexual way. What's the reason?
I bit somebody's booty in a non-sexual way.
Explain.
I might just be on some
bullshit. Because I'm going to find the sexual way in there. Ain't nobody biting ass without...
No, I was drunk at a party at Pride in DC years ago. Shout out to my friend Ayana. We became friends afterwards. And there was this girl who was like pulling around a dump truck. And she was at the party. And I was like, your ass looks like an apple. And I was drunk.
That was the sexual part in there right there.
Okay, but like, I mean, that's like PG-13 Sesame Street sexual. I was like, your booty looks like an apple. And I was drunk and I bit it. And her girlfriend was there and we all just laughed and we became friends.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it felt innocent. But I realized that my version of innocent is actually not innocent. So maybe it is sexual. But no, on my bucket list.
You're a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus. So even when we're not being sexual, we're being completely sexual. I'm going to have another drink thinking about licking Tiana Taylor's stomach. Honey, I still have the other half a shot.
Oh, so I finished my actual shot.
Yeah, no. The way my gut, you know what it is? I got really drunk episode 3.
Oh.
And when I get drunk, I talk fast and it sounds like Spanish.
I thought you was about to say you got really drunk last night. I was about to say, no, I started drinking kombucha twice a week.
Ooh, you
should have swallowed that because that's only...
Ooh, that's strong.
That's not even a full shot.
So check it out. I've been fasting on green juice.
Okay.
And I just remembered that. So that's why that probably tastes like 10 shots to me. You guys, don't ever fast and then come on your podcast and drink. So
you need me to open it?
Yeah, no, it's open. I'm just trying to figure out if I might have hurt myself from drinking on an empty stomach.
Oh gosh.
The Take the L Sis episode, I sent it to my co-host DJ Damage. Much love to DJ Damage, and he said, and I quote, "You sound like Twista." I was talking so fast in that episode. I actually sounded like Twista. So I'm trying to keep it chill. I love the Janet Jackson tea. I love the whole Normani. I think to me, I actually preferred Normani's performance.
Yeah, the performance, yes.
Her performance. Chloe Bailey had a history, not history.
Chloe's career-making moment. Good too. Yeah,
no, but that moment made her career.
Yeah,
like we saw a star being
somebody
born.
Posted one of the like fans. They were on the backside of the stage, and as soon as it was done, she didn't even make it off. She like sat down and started crying because just overwhelmed with all the happiness from being on that big stage. Meanwhile, Big Lotto, they had her on the small stage all night. I felt some kind of way about that.
I did, Lotto deserved better.
Lotto did not deserve to be on the small stage the whole night.
To me, Lotto and Doja, to me, are comparable.
Lotto are just...
So why is Lotto not on the stage?
She has shown she should be here. Like
I actually think she's the most talented out of all the new girls.
The new girls, yeah,
all of them.
I like it. I like her.
Mind you, Doja though is on some weird shit where like I think she's a shapeshifter. One minute she's rapping, the next minute she's singing.
She's giving
the next minute she's yodeling. Like she's super talented.
She's giving you a little Missy T's, a little bit of
She is,
yeah.
and I had a moment with her when I wasn't completely sold on her.
Talking about saying she wasn't black, even though her dad in Nigeria.
Well, here's the thing: she got like 4C hair, right? And the thing is, a lot of light skinned people with nappy hair.
Her daddy ain't Nigerian. Is he Nigerian?
Whatever it is, it showed up in her kitchen, okay? And so Doja used to have some loathing about her hair, and up until a year ago was wearing very bad wigs, as girls who don't feel comfortable with their hair often do. And I think her own self-loathing about that, or her own discomfort with that, we all took it personal. It was like, if you judge your blackness, you're judging ours. But now, again, showing grace, I'm like, look at her. She's
so talented.
She's so talented. I'm willing to forgive that.
A lot of times, I want these celebrities, especially young celebrities, just only allow your PR and managers to have access to your social media.
Stop telling us how much you hate yourself because the mainstream will kill you with it.
Get a Finsta. Don't let us know. If you want to just say something out there, just get a Finsta and say it. But your actual page, just give it to your PR and give it to, because we don't, come on.
Not everybody needs to know your business. In fact, I miss
the days of old Hollywood. Like,
I miss the mysterious days. That's why somebody did a tweet that said, "I'm so happy Beyonce don't be talking to us."
Exactly.
And I was like, you know what? I too am happy Beyonce doesn't talk to us.
You would go to the grocery store, you might see something on the National Enquirer, but nobody knew your everyday, day-to-day, what you're doing.
A little bit of mystery is amazing. Yeah. So there's an op-ed that we did for the Griot, and it's called why do Chloe Bailey and Lizzo and girls like them really piss you off? And there's an excerpt that I want to read to you guys from that op-ed. Please look it up. It's on the Griot right now. And it says, and I quote, "You guys hate Chloe Bailey for growing up even pretending for a second to be comfortable in her womanhood. You hate Lizzo for being overweight and having the nerve to know she's still pretty and worthy. You hate Normani for being so damn talented, but not light enough to appease the mainstream who prefers ambiguously black, that's the thing, megastars.
In 2021?
Honey, what do I mean? You hate Cardi B for being too ghetto and speaking like where she's from, despite the fact that she outworks a lot of you who are speaking the King's English.
Despite the fact that she said it had a whole IG Live with Bernie Sanders during the election.
Despite the fact that she was a political major. Like, she literally studied like social sciences and took AP classes in school. It's actually really freaking smart. The world simply isn't built for black women to have free agency. The system is rigged for everyone to see, profit, and repackage our power while finding peace in knowing that we'll never be able to fully own it. It's a tale as old as time and a song as old as slavery."
You know, my newest thing is that I hate seeing being appropriated now because Black women have been doing it forever. The whole nails thing, like the really long nails with designs. I'm like, Coco gave y'all that back in 1992.
Y'all came for us for that.
That was ghetto. But now everybody want nails out to here with all 10 different designs for each finger. Like,
thank you for pointing that out, because when people say, "What's the big deal?"
That is my newest pet peeve.
The problem with appropriation is when we do things, we're called ghetto and we can't get jobs. When you do things, you're called high fashion and you get $1 million.
Baby, back in the 90s.
That's why it's horrible to appropriate.
Back in the 90s, to walk in with braids or locks as a black man, "Oh, are you willing to cut your hair?" Oh, now Justin Bieber out here with his braids halfway hanging out of his head.
Because he got his peaches out in Georgia, apparently, and so he could do that. So we have talked about the VMAs. We've talked about appropriation. We've talked about Nicki Minaj and her complicated history with black womanhood. I want us to pivot to the topic of the show, though, right?
Okay.
Today's show topic is about cuffing season.
Ooh, it's getting cold out here.
Yes.
Woo.
Now, my first question to you before we talk about cuffing season is, what was the highlight of the summer for you? And what was the low light? What was the peak of the summer and what was the valley of the summer? Because I feel like cuffing season, almost like Labor Day, is the unofficial way of finding out the summer's about to be over. So what was the high point and the low point of your summer?
You know what's really interesting? I have to say, my summer was so good that the highlight was actually Labor Day weekend, because it was like the perfect ending, the perfect culmination to my entire summer. I had so many great memories, and I live in a city, I live in two cities, LA and Miami. Where it's never technically.
You guys pause. That subtle flex was brought to you by our sponsors. He says that he lives in two cities, Miami and Los Angeles.
But
just tell the people that you got money, Jeff.
Listen, where it's never particularly cold, what the world knows cold to be.
Right.
So I never, during the day anyway, I never feel like summer's over until after 6 p.m. when you need a jacket.
Right.
But it really, this year, it had a perfect ending to wrap up my entire summer.
What did you actually do, though? You being coy.
So Labor Day weekend, it was Orange Blossom Classic in Miami, Florida, which was the football game between Jackson State University, my alma mater,
well, here we go,
and Florida A&M University.
You're getting excited, I can tell. Go ahead.
My friends from college, Chris and Ashley, shout out to them. We've been friends since 2004 when we went into Jackson State.
Jeff will keep a friend.
I keep friends. And I have a lot of friends, but those are two people. Even out of college, I don't speak to everybody. We went through a lot of shit when we were in school, but just in adulthood, went through so much, and they both came down. I usually see them probably minimum once a year because I go to DC a lot. They both live in the DMV area.
Right.
But they came down there, and it was just so much reminiscing. One night we were on the beach at like 2:30 in the morning. And
Jeff, why don't you ever call me for any of this stuff?
It was a Jackson State moment. We were just like smoking, getting high, talking about life and everything. And it was just so amazing. But we spent the whole weekend on boats, at parties, eating food. I cooked a couple of times. Like, it was such a great meeting. It was like, wow. And then Monday, actual Labor Day, we went out to the beach. We were out there for like 6 hours. And that day I had all of my friends, my Miami friends, some LA friends that were in town, other people that were in town. We were just all a big ass group on the beach for like 7 hours. And it was like, yo, this is the way it's supposed to be. And we had a bottle of Casamigos, which was the choice liquor.
I almost bought
some
Casamigos today for you, yeah.
And finished it. And it was like, it was just perfect.
Jeff, the next time you do something like that, you need to invite me because you know I have money to buy tickets.
I'm thinking about next year's birthday. I haven't done a birthday, and you were at the last
May.
one. Yeah, but I got my birthday.
We in September.
But my birthday is I like to do themes and be elaborate with it. So I want to start planning now because I haven't done one in 2 years. So,
what was the low point of your summer? Keep it a buck, Chuck.
See, that's one of those questions I need at the very beginning of the show to think about. Let me think. The low point.
I'll say my high point while you think about it. My high point of the whole summer was going to see my mom Labor Day weekend and just like taking care of her. Oh. Yeah, mine was very low-key.
Damn, Blue, and I'm talking about partying. You talking about family love because we're in a pandemic, sir.
Right. You know what it is? It's because when I was in my 20s and even early part of my 30s when I was a struggling writer, whenever I would go home, it meant my mother would take me shopping. She would get me groceries. She would help me do my laundry. You know what it's like when you go back home and your family spoils you. And then she'd slip a couple $100s in my bag before I got on the plane. Fast forward, now that I'm 40, now I'm going home and I'm slipping money in her purse and I'm taking her shopping. And so it was a really bittersweet moment of realizing that the torch had been passed. Really? And that I was now taking care of her instead of her taking care of me. And so like being of service to my mom in that way was kind of humbling. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, like I'm the mom now. Really? My mother's 75.
Wow.
And she was a nurse for 30 years. So her bones hurt. So like,
is she a bad patient? Because, she was in the field. So I know what I need.
She's a proud patient who she'll lie and say she doesn't need anything.
That's what I mean.
When she needs everything.
Yeah.
Right? So, but then when I got home and she called me the next day and she was giggling. My 75-year-old mother was giggling. She was like, "Ma fifi, mon chéri, I just need you to..." Yeah, she sounds like Pepe Le Pew. "Ma fifi, mon chéri, I just need you to know the house is so happy because you..." Like, she said I lit up the house. Aww. And that it made her heart so happy and that her and my stepdad are now just in such great spirits. And she's like, "When are you coming back?" And so for me, that was the high point because
great.
It tells me why I work so hard. It's for my mother. My low point of the summer was I lost 2 major friendships. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
2 major, like, important friendships that used to keep me buoyant. But I don't think it's a low point because it happened, because I think it was for the best, because I was a crutch for them. I think it was just a low point because I'm sad because I love them. So that was my low point. What's your low point?
Honestly, the truth, Blue, and
you had a dope summer and everything was great.
Because I'm such an optimist.
Shut up, Jeff.
My low points of the summer were just those days when I was looking on Instagram and my LA friends were all together and they were doing brunches or field days and this and that.
So pause.
And
your
I'm in
high
Miami
point was
and
partying,
I'm like,
and your low point was watching other people partying.
Watching my friends
Jeff.
be together when I know I wish I would be there.
So we're gonna pivot because Jeff is just living. I'm gonna start calling you Paris Hilton.
Girl, we in a pandemic. I'm enjoying everyday life. I find enjoy
I would
it
enjoy
every day.
life too if you would tell me to hop on a plane to Miami.
I'm always
no offense to anybody who considers Miami travel. I don't consider Miami travel.
What do you mean when you say travel?
There's a meme going around that said you ain't
finna Atlanta and Miami me to death?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't consider Miami, like, I think it's a trip. It's not travel. So, like, I don't consider, like, going to Bali is travel.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's to say, Jeff, tell me and I'll fly to Miami, honey.
Like, I'm there all the time. If I'm not here, that's where I am.
No, I'm talking about, I know that you're there. Invite me to be there as well.
So let me tell you the beautiful part about it. Being in Miami.
Y'all see how he skipped over saying that he would invite me next time? Y'all see that?
No, listen.
He has forsaken me, you guys. I feel rejected.
Let me tell you, I don't invite anybody. This is what I learned about Miami. Every weekend, people love going to Miami. So
I made
every
a request,
weekend,
Jeffrey.
I know this is an open invitation. Whenever you have the time.
Nah, I need to know when it's popping. I'm not going to just stare at you. I want to be on the beach drinking Casamigos.
This is how I know it's popping. When people tell me they're in town, I'm like, oh, what's going on? So, Blue, I'm not from Miami, so I literally don't know the layout of that land. I know more about parties in LA than I do in Miami.
This might be your last episode on the show. Because how you gonna laugh like a fuckboy? He like, you gonna invite me back. Okay, Future.
Because you sound just like everybody else to be like, Jeff, what's going on in Miami? When I am in Miami, I promise you, I am in that kitchen. I am at home. I'm cooking. I'm creating recipes. That's what I'm doing. I'm only out when other people are in town and they're like, hey, I'm on South Beach. Come on out. And I'm like, okay.
Let the record show, I've told Jeff twice that I was going to be in Miami, and both times he said he was not going to be there.
I was probably going to be here because I do try to escape.
So speaking of fuckboy reactions to honest requests, Jeff, you see how you just did that? I mean, I'm for the streets.
Listen.
Let's talk about the cuffing season schedule, right?
Okay.
So
did it change or the same as every year?
I'm about to read it to you. I don't know. I've never read the schedule before. This is new. I didn't know there was official schedule.
Oh, yeah.
So scouting, which is a time to look for a partner online.
It's already started.
Clearly you know about this. It's August 1st to the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Drafting. Wow, there's a draft, guys.
After Labor Day.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be around the September 1st to the 30th. So we're in the draft season right now to pick your top candidates. Tryouts to go on many first dates is October 1st to the 31st.
Yeah.
Preseason, get more serious with one person or two prospects if you want some whole shit, is November. Mm-hmm. The whole month of November. Mm-hmm. Cuffing season, where you are like, look, I chose your ass, is December 1st to January 15th, which means that in your mind, I might have spent Thanksgiving with my family, but December and New Year's and Christmas and all that, it's me and you, boo.
So that's because it's cold outside. And that's where I like to say people mistake wanting a hug for thinking they should be in a relationship.
Exactly.
Big difference. A lot
playoffs.
Of these
there's a playoff season.
Oh, yeah.
Playoffs to see if you can survive the holiday and might be opted to stay on the team long term is January 16th to February 13th. Because by
Valentine's Day.
By February 13th, if you haven't broken up with them, that's your girlfriend or boyfriend, whether you want them to be or not.
At least for the year.
Damn. And then the championship game, where you can offer official boyfriend-girlfriend status and celebrate Valentine's Day, is February 14th. So the championship game is February 14th. If you are in cuffing season and you make it to Valentine's, they say with an M, as they say in some parts of the South, that means that you're officially in a relationship.
Yeah. Except,
that's
however,
exhausting.
I think that needs to, that's like the traditional cuffing season schedule. However, cuffing season needs to realize we live in a social media world now.
So it already started 2 months ago is what you're saying.
Well, it's just, honestly, it's becoming a little moot, a little null and void, because also the fact that we travel now. Like,
so there really is no winter.
It's really no winter. It's cold. I'm getting out of here.
And we live in LA anyway, so
living in LA.
Winter is just really
a whole modified cuffing season.
A nice fall. But you know what it is? I don't think it's about the winter though. I asked myself this question: like, why did I still feel the pressure of cuffing season? It's the holidays.
Seasonal depression. Yeah, holiday depression.
It's the thought of everybody's supposed to be with their loved ones on these 4 days.
Because you know what I noticed too?
And who is my loved one? So on Thanksgiving, who's my loved one? On Christmas, who's my loved one? New Year's Eve, who's my loved one? Valentine's Day, who's my loved one? It's that's actually the pressure, not the weather.
A lot of us, when we're in that whole maybe like 25 to 30 period, we're living in these new cities, we're creating these friendships. So we spend all these holidays away from our families, which we traditionally are used to. So it's like, oh, you're this special person that spent this holiday with me, so it means something. Again, confusing a hug with one in a relationship. And that's why cuffing season only lasts till Valentine's Day. And then after that, everybody break up. By June 6th, everybody broke up.
I'm going to be honest. Is there a possibility of being too old for cuffing season?
Yes.
Are you too old for cuffing season?
I've never done. I've always been in relationships, so I've never really had the chance to do cuffing season.
You are a real Taurus.
Yeah, I've never had a chance to do a real cuffing season, but also I know I wouldn't do a cuffing season because I don't fall in love with the moment.
Me either.
Yeah, I need to know ahead of it. Takes a while for me to like you. Oh. So a quick little playoff draft period, all that stuff. No, I don't fall in love with the moment.
I would say for me, I had a reading yesterday because you guys know I'm a tarot reader and I'm always looking for other people to read me. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Jeff, I get jealous of my clients.
What do you mean?
Like, they'll come to me with a problem and by the end of the session, they're crying, they're happy, they're relieved, they've gotten answers, they feel so good. I can't do that for myself. I can't read for myself. And so sometimes I'm like, damn, I would like to have a reading and walk away feeling.
Why don't you go to somebody? I'm sure you know other people in the network.
Yeah, but they've all been garbage. And when they're like faking it or folding it in.
But you don't have like girlfriends that are in the same and you know that they're reliable and good?
I know a couple and a couple of them have read for me. But what happens with human nature is once they know my personal business, they start giving opinion. Okay. And as a clear cognizant, I can taste opinion versus a reading. Mm-hmm. And then it becomes, oh, honey, that's not, I asked you to read. You're giving your opinion. I can ask you that on the phone. I'm asking you to read for me. Oh. And so there's a lot of readers who don't know how to be objective once they know you and feel comfortable with you. So for me, that's the problem. My clients, Jeff, you and I can be friends for forever. When I read for you like you're a stranger. Mm-hmm. That's rare for me to find. So shout out to Brian Henry. He's amazing. The Behan Block Party is next Saturday.
I was at the DC when it was great.
Are you going to be here for the LA one next?
I'm not. If I knew, I would have scheduled this trip to come next week versus being here this week. Then
you wouldn't have been on the show, so it worked out perfectly. Yeah. So Brian Henry's amazing, and I was having a really shit-tastic day yesterday, like just a shitty day, right? Mm-hmm. And I happened to be talking to him, and he was like, I have a friend who's doing this special kind of reading that I've never heard of, and it made me think of you because I know that you've always wanted somebody to read you. So So I got a reading. Thank you to Brian for coming to my house and doing that for me. And in the reading, one of the things that I was told was people like me are the great experimenters. We spend our entire 20s and 30s experimenting. And once we hit 40, we get tired and want to settle down.
You feel like you're ready to settle down?
I am now. But I love that he told me that, because as a man, that's considered fine. George Clooney didn't. Nobody said anything. As a woman, everybody's like, why did it take you so long to want to settle down?
Childbearing years and
The fact that I didn't want a husband and babies until I hit 40, everybody thinks it's weird.
Funny? I actually been telling my friends the other day, honestly, I feel like nobody needs to be in a relationship until 45 and older.
Well, no, there's something called eggs.
I was about to say eggs. There is an asterisk. There's an asterisk in that.
Eggs.
Because, women, of course, it is about, do you want children? But for me, it's just more about, because listen, relationships do not last the way that they used to, the way we know them to be.
Right.
Honestly, it needs to get to that point of when you're like 45 and older, you're at a place where it's not about the physical anymore.
Right.
Folks ain't out here cheating, lying, doing all that. At this point,
I'm tired.
I'm tired. I want peace at home. I want somebody I know I love, I can respect, I can travel
Jeff,
with.
How old are you?
35.
I think you should change it to 40, because I used to think that.
Maybe for women, but for
no,
me,
Jeff, you're only 35 though. You haven't hit 40. I'm saying I have been shocked by how tired all my 40-year-old friends are. Male, female, gender not conforming, gay and straight, even the gay boys. They hit 40, even the ones who are stubborn, it's a little slower. So let's talk in 5 years.
These things that I know.
They might need some therapy there. I'm talking about people who are healed. Okay, they might be fucking their way through some problems. For me, for some reason at 40, I was like, I have nothing left to see.
Really?
And anything that I do want to see, I wouldn't mind seeing it with somebody next to me. But as far as doing whole stuff on my own,
and I don't want to use it as a blanket statement, because again, some people mature faster and just have different wants and needs.
Trauma will make you age. I might as well be 45 now.
But I do think that majority of people think they want to be in these relationships, and then what they don't, as humans, we grow. By every 5 to 7 years, our desires, our wants, our needs, they change and we grow. It doesn't mean I don't love you, unless it just means, you know what, I didn't like broccoli then, but I love broccoli now. And the other partner will all of a sudden be like, well, when I was trying to make you broccoli, you ain't want it, so why are you so different?
See, that's where partner selection is important, though, because one thing I say that makes me want to find me another me is that I'm just happy to be.
You want to find you another you? You would date you?
Yeah.
You would date yourself.
And you know why I would date myself? Because I am someone I'm a Gemini rising and a Gemini Venus. Geminis change every 20 minutes, right? Like I had an ex one time tell me that he had cheated on everybody he dated but me. He was like, look, every couple of weeks, it's a whole new bitch. Like, what's happening? And because I'm constantly changing and evolving, I want a partner who's like, as long as you are my partner, we're going on this fantastic ride together, and we're going to ebb and flow and change and evolve and do all types of crazy shit together. Because that's how I am in relationships.
But that's the problem. A lot of people meet each other at this one moment when they are great.
And they're stuck there.
Everything's great. And again, as you grow and change.
I want somebody to grow and change with me.
Exactly. Or at least just understand that I'm changing. Even if you understand that I'm changing.
You know, Antonio and I were best friends for what? We knew each other for 29 years.
Yeah.
I watched him change 20 times. And I realized through that friendship, and guys, this is a pro hack. Watch how you react to your oldest relationships, your oldest friendships, because friendship is actually a testing ground for romantic relationships. And
I always say the easiest thing in the world is to be a friend. That's the easiest thing.
No, the easiest thing in the world is to be a friend. The hardest thing in the world is to be a best friend who knows where all the bodies are buried. Because there are
Not me and my best friend.
Okay, so that you guys are different. There's my best friend, we went through all the trauma and horrible things that you would go through in a marriage. Like I called him my gay husband. We went through the things that you usually see couples who are married go through. And so he was a beautiful playground for me to see how I show up when I have to learn to not put myself first, but to not put myself last either. So over the 29 years that we were best friends, I learned how to show him grace, but always advocate for myself. So I loved him, but my mantra is I never want to have to set myself on fire to keep you warm. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why I think I'm ready for a relationship, because I know what it's like to support somebody. Okay. But you're not finna play me though.
So you're open to this relationship. Have you started the dating process?
I've been dating this whole time.
Oh.
But nobody was talking about on the air.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People keep coming over and trying to smash and stuff.
But you're dating though. You're not. discouraged by it.
Yeah, I'm open. In fact, I'm not going to say any names, but there's somebody who apparently likes me, and all his friends are like, yo, he likes you.
Are you doing the online, or are you going out and meeting? Or
I've had several of my witchy friends, and that's one thing I will say. Being
not witchy,
witches find each other. We tend to, if we get a read on each other, we'll call each other and be like, yo, sis, I don't know what's going on in your life, but I got this thing on you. Like I picked whatever. One of my witchy friends hit me up recently and said, Blue, you're not the online dating girl, and she's right. Not because I would be opposed to it, but because I'm so energetically dense and rich, people respond to my energy. And,
when I think of online dating...
I mean the apps. Like, I don't mean Instagram. I get hit up on my DMs all the time. No. Yeah.
I mean like just as far as, to see a profile to say, I do want to meet you. I don't mean like just only
that
dating
doesn't ever
online.
Work for me. You know why? I'm not attracted to anybody just from seeing how they look. So I don't swipe on anybody. Like even if you're cute, I don't know you, so I don't give a fuck. Like I'm an energy person. I need to be able to sniff you out or hear you talk or see you engaging for me to feel juicy and soft and pink about you. And online, when you go on the apps, you can't. Now on Instagram, yes. If I see somebody on Instagram and, they're talking that good talk, awesome. But the apps are just too one-dimensional for me, personally.
Really?
I like to be out and about. You though, on the other hand, Jeffrey, you are very efficient.
Because I am a very
visual.
Meet you in person. Yeah, of course. I think we all are. Like you don't even necessarily go and speak to someone until you look at them first.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. Like Jeffrey,
when it's interest for, we meet people all the time, but when it's interest for dating situations, you look at them first. Your girl be like, oh, I got somebody you should meet. How you look? Like,
here's the thing though. You saying I got somebody you should meet. The fact that my friend said it is not just your looks though. Somebody sniffed you out and brought you to me. That's still different to me.
But also your friend, I'm sure that they ain't picking out a slug to bring your way. So,
true.
So somewhere in there, it's a physical, whether it was a referral from your friend or whether it was you out by yourself.
It's physical once. Here's the thing. And I'm going to say this with all due respect. All my friends are attractive.
Yeah, I can speak.
I don't have any ugly people in my life. Yeah. So because I'm surrounded by attractive people, being attractive enough alone doesn't mean shit to me. Like my brain doesn't even register anything's happening. Yeah. It's like, oh, there goes one of my homies. So if I see a fine ass man, I'm like, oh, he looks like Jeff. Oh, he looks like Norman. Like it doesn't do anything to me. But if I see a video of him talking, he's talking about how he would treat a woman. I'm like, oh, that's sexy.
Yeah, I still have to it. Yeah.
I still have to see you engage because I'm so surrounded by attractive people. A picture of you being attractive doesn't mean shit to me.
Okay, so where are you gonna go to start meeting these men?
Oh no, I go to events all the time.
Okay, they having events now?
Yeah, well, they're private and you have to take COVID tests. And
okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I get invited to a lot of private events, or my friends will invite me to a brunch or a happy hour where there'll be other people there.
Yeah.
And all the men that I've met so far are much older than what I usually date, which I don't mind, but I do mind.
Or do you want younger?
No, here's the thing. I want fun. If you can be fun at 40 or fun at 30, I'll take it either way. But my thing is, I don't want anybody who takes themselves too seriously.
Oh, yeah. And
I've met some really interesting 40 and up men who on paper are what I want, but when it's time to have a good time, I'm like, oh,
that's
God.
That's because they tired of the bullshit. They done been through life.
Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter.
Some are jaded, some from relationships,
talking about
from
your ex-wife all the time, your
yeah.
alimony payments. I can't do none of that. Like, I don't mind you having an ex-wife. I don't mind you having a kid. I do mind you carrying that trauma with you on our first date, though.
Yeah.
So for me, I tend to date younger guys, not because I like them younger, but I like that they still have hope in their eyes.
Jaded.
Yeah, they have hope in their eyes.
Got a little twinkle there, like, oh.
So all the young, I don't want to say young boys because then I'm gonna get reported. But
right. You ain't gonna get reported. You're gonna get spammed. Your DM's gonna get flooded. That's what's gonna happen.
I do not go under 30. That is my line.
Why not?
Because a 27-year-old tried to hit on me the other day, and I could tell it was about to be a Trey Songz,
have you ever tried to
Jada Pinkett Smith thing, and made me nervous.
Have you ever had to have a conversation with some of these, not all, some of these 27-year-olds?
Yeah.
Blue, we are not the same.
We're not the same.
We're not the same.
I actually, the funny thing is, and by funny I mean sad, my homegirl in high school who got pregnant, her son is 26. I can't date you knowing I could be your mother.
Wow.
So because my homegirl has a 26-year-old son, I always take his age and add like a couple years to it.
You can still have fun with it though.
No, I'm gonna feel like, Another thing that I was told during that reading is that my superpower is that I'm nurturing, but I'm a sexual nurturer. So it's like a MILF. Like I'm nurturing.
So you over here like Iyanla, having them come lay in your
lay in my bosom and I'm gonna caress you and yeah. I mean, I'm very nurturing.
Tell me the issue and take the drawers off. That's what's happening. I see you, Blue.
I'm a horny nurturer. That's my superpower. I want to see what your superpower is. I think your superpower is that you're a magnet. Like you make everybody feel like they're your friend.
Is that my superpower or is that my toxic trait?
Oh, shit. I think it could be both. Because I think me being nurturing is why I attract all these leeches.
It's about how you use it.
It's about how you use it.
Use it for good or use it for bad.
What I'm learning, though, is I'm, for the rest of this year, for cuffing season, just to bring it back because the show has to... Can you believe the show's about to end?
What do you mean it's about to end?
We're almost at time.
Oh, you mean time-wise?
Yes.
I thought you mean like for the season. I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
I'm going to pop back up.
We're going to have Jeff already told me before we started that we're going to have a real conversation about cuffing season, like the after party that's not going to be aired because we both have tea to spill. But no, the show's about to end, but I want to make sure that
Does that make us bad like reality stars? Like we want to talk and be honest, but then we're like, we can't talk about that.
No, because have you been watching Real Houses of Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Kathy Hilton doesn't tell us shit, and she's the best one on the whole show.
But she also is not a cast member, a main cast member.
But she is.
So she doesn't.
She's not, but she is. She eats the stage every time she takes it.
I hear that, but equally, I don't expect to get much from Kathy Hilton.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna be the Kathy Hilton of
Erica Jane. Listen, that's a whole. Do we got time to go into this?
We don't, but that's why you have to come back. I'm going to tell you something about Erica Jane and about Lisa, because I heard that Lisa came after Garcelle Buffet, our Haitian sis.
Not Buffet.
Bouvet. Bouveau?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Is it Bouvet or Bouveau? I thought it was Bouveau.
I thought it was Bouvet.
Oh.
Well, sac passe, sis. I'm Haitian. I should know better. My bad.
One of us is right. Well, I probably am wrong. More than likely, I'm wrong.
Neither one of us is married to it. But Garcelle, apparently, she gets attacked by Lisa Rinna during the reunion that taped a couple of days ago.
Oh, they just recently taped it. Okay.
Yeah, and Lisa thinks that she intentionally said that Erica was still talking to her ex-husband after the court case.
Oh, that's right. I saw the episode. But also, I heard that Lisa got subpoenaed to actually have to speak up.
Lisa Rinna needs to go.
Which led to Sutton's whole point of why she ain't want to be around this bullshit.
So when Jeff finally invites me to Miami, I'm putting it out there. We're going to have a special Miami episode where we do nothing but talk about reality shows.
Okay, let's go.
I think that's going to be fun. I feel like they all go there for surgery or have houses there, so it's the perfect place to talk about reality.
The Beverly Hills want to stay in Beverly Hills and get it done.
True, but when they want to hide, they go to Miami. You know, Dr. Miami and them. Jeff, for cuffing season, I want us to set our intentions because according to this, we are now in the preseason right now where we're scouting people. So I'm going to set my intention before the championship.
All the good vibes your way.
Do.
I got some tips and ideas on where you should go looking for a man.
Oh, tips? I thought you had some people. Fuck a tip. Send me a man. Like, we'll talk about that later.
We'll think about that.
So what I'm manifesting for this cuffing season is that I receive. I'm such a good giver. And anything you give me, I'm going to give you 10 times more because I like to give. I just need you to give me a little bit so I have a green light to give you something, right?
Okay.
So this cuffing season, I want to be properly courted by someone who allows me to receive. Because me giving is going to always happen. A dog's going to bark, a cat is going to meow.
Okay.
But me receiving, that is the spirit that I'm walking into this cuffing season of like, who is going to care enough? Because a lot of men like me, but liking me enough to do something about it is where they lose me.
Okay.
I want somebody who likes me enough to put an effort and to be intentional. So if my future husband is watching and or listening to this, number one, I'm not as scary as I look. I have resting bitch face. Shout out to Chloe Bailey and the rest of us who are low-key sweet, but we just have resting bitch face. I need you to plan the dates and then invite me. Like plan the dates and actually put an effort. I need flowers. I like roses. I'm a basic bitch.
Quick question I have, because a friend of mine is online dating, Tinder or one of those apps
Tinder's
or whatever.
Not for love, but go ahead.
I forget which one it was, but basically had a guy who said, basically they matched.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looked great. And the guy asked my friend, about meeting up.
Mm-hmm.
My friend has been just like really kind of just stalling. And finally I was just like, why? He's like, oh, well, he didn't do it properly. I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh, she's one of those.
But I'm just like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, he didn't set like a day, a time, a place. I'm like, but he asked you about meeting up. How come you then couldn't say, yes, what do you have in mind? Or yes, here are the days I'm available.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not that girl.
Give something.
Yeah, I'm not a pillow princess.
Because the thing that stuck with me was when they were like, they didn't do it properly. So you just said didn't do it properly. That's why I'm curious as to what that meant.
For me, doing it properly is not about me being a pillow princess. And if you said there instead of there or didn't cross your I or dot your T, you're dead to me. It's more so I need to feel, and you can tell when somebody's putting an effort.
Mm-hmm.
Effort is like porn. You know it when you see it.
Mm.
So if you don't type the right sentence, but I can tell you really care and you're really trying and you're being intentional, I'll meet you more than halfway. But if you're like, yo, Ash, you look cute, we should go out, and you being real pretty boy about it, and you sitting back and waiting for me to do all the work, I can smell that too. I want somebody who's enthusiastic about meeting me halfway, who's enthusiastic about courting me, who's enthusiastic about making me a priority. Because once you're enthusiastic, I'll meet you where you are.
And I don't mean to sound like a cynic about love, but because I love love, but I just feel like...
Do you though? Because you sound pretty cynical already.
People ain't doing that, unfortunately.
Some people are.
Some people are, yeah.
And whoever he is, find me.
I never use blanket statements.
Whoever he is, all 4 of y'all who are doing it, please come find me at BlueCentric.
That's what I'm just for people. But again, I do understand with women, you know, the biology of if you want children.
I do want children.
And so that I understand that's
I'm a MILF for no kids. I need children.
Yeah,
because what you mean if I want children? I'm a MILF.
Because I'm so about people just enjoy life. Love will always be there. You can come and find somebody when you're really ready to settle down. Not just because
spoken like a man who does not have eggs, but yes.
But not just because it's like it sounds good or because your mama was and daddy was married.
I don't. Jeff, I wouldn't tell I was 40 to even want love. So clearly I'm not that girl. You know what I mean? Like I don't want love for the sake of love. I want love because I'm actually ready to build. Oh. And so for me to build, we both have to be enthusiastic. So I'm manifesting a beautiful courtship where he does his part and I also might pleasantly surprise him and do more than my part. What are you manifesting for this cuffing season? I'm nervous.
Hoeing? No, I'm just playing.
You heard that? He wants to be a hoe, guys.
No.
Beauty and the Beast over here.
I am actually going to, not for myself, because I'm doing fine there. But for everyone else,
okay.
I am just going to manifest just open hearts,
no, but doing fine.
minds.
I'm asking like, what you can still manifest what's to come. Oh, okay. Like, the future hasn't happened yet. What kind of energy are you manifesting for cuffing season?
What kind of energy? Let me see.
Vacations, trips, good sex.
Happy, just gifts. Smiles. Like if I could stay on the same trajectory that I am currently going and just manifest more of that, then that's it.
Oh, so you're one of those reality stars who's like some things are off limits. Okay, so clearly there's a conversation that Jeff and I will be having off camera about cuffing season.
I'm just never in a cuffing season place when it's time to talk about cuffing season.
Well, here's the thing. This is not about the cuffing season as far as taking part of the playoffs and the tryouts. It's just about the season to date. Like, what do you want to manifest from now until Valentine's Day? From now until Valentine's Day, I want the spirit of courtship. And you want...
bigger and better gifts.
Okay, you guys heard it here. I want true love and courtship. Jeffrey wants gifts. Thank you so much for watching Humanize Jeff. I'm a little tipsy because you gave me brown liquor.
I was at first, but mine has come down.
You probably ate though, and I didn't.
I did go to brunch earlier.
Yeah, I had green juice and water and like air.
That's okay. We're going to eat after.
Yeah, we're going to eat afterwards. Jeff and I are going to be 2 Tauruses doing what you guys always say about Tauruses. We're going to go and eat.
And what y'all know I do best.
We're going to go and eat and talk about sex, which is what Tauruses are all known for. We go, yep. Both thing 1 and thing 2. Thank you for listening to today's episode, Jeffrey. I cannot wait to see what life is like by the time that I come to Miami. I will claim this. I want to be in Miami before December 1st.
Okay, I'm there.
And we're going to coordinate. No, you're not. Because I've tried twice, Jeffrey.
I have 2 trips coming up.
You see that? Y'all see how he do me?
But yeah, it's not like a no, you're not invited. I'm just saying I already have 2 trips that are coming up. So we're going to fit it out.
You guys, by the time Jeffrey's back on the show, we're going to see if he's actually made time for me to come to Miami. Jeff, you are so handsome and wonderful and lovely. I appreciate you for coming on the show. We didn't even know we were going to do this episode. You guys,
I found out yesterday.
Full disclosure, I found out yesterday. I was going to take the month of September off for self-care. But when I found out you were in town, I dropped everything and booked the studio for us to do this episode. So this episode is very specifically happening only because that you're here.
And I was very on time, which anybody that knows me knows that is not my strong suit.
I was so shocked that he was on time. Anyways, until next time, you guys, before I go, just let me know that you can find me at BlueCentric. That's BlueCentric. Jeff, what is yours?
Y'all can find me on everything at Jeffro5. That's JEFRO 1F. 5.
And if you guys want to actually see this episode and not just hear our lovely voices, you guys can go to patreon.com/BlueCentric. That's patreon.com //BlueCentric the BlueCentricShop.com, which is my website where I have readings and spiritual candles and spiritual baths and all types of yummy things for those of you who want to have your juju correct. That is the sponsor of the show officially. Thank you guys for coming. Please, 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 I've heard this is important. Make sure to rate and subscribe because apparently that helps the algorithm in some way.
Yeah, you get to the top when people type in.
I didn't know that. I've been up here just kikiing and talking to y'all. So please give me a 5-star rating. You even got to listen to the episode. Just give me a 5-star rating because you love me. Jeff, you are amazing. And yeah, we're going to have a great dinner. I can already tell.
We are. And I'm ready.
Bye, guys.
Good night.